Hi everyone, this is Keri Blake, and this is Listen at Lunch, episode 33. Today we're going to make a mystery card together, and I'm really pleased to show you the focus sorry about that jiggle. The focus that I'm using today is the Posted For You bundle. This didn't get my attention when the pre-order came out for demonstrators, nor did it get my attention when I looked through the catalog a couple times. But I certainly really like it. It's simple, like most of my stamp sets that I really like. It has some greetings and it also has some images, so you get a lot out of it. And it also coordinates with this beautiful postage stamp punch, which is elongated, so it's a little longer than the typical postage stamp, but it accommodates all four of these, well, six of these images included in this cling mount stamp. And so let's get started. I asked you to bring card supplies today with you, and those card supplies are a card base, which I'm using I keep hitting that, I apologize. I'm using a hamburger fold, which is 5.5 by 8.5, and then it's folded at 4 1/4 directly in the center. I'm gonna bone fold that. Use my bone folder to give it a really nice crisp crease. And then I'm just gonna set that aside. I also asked you to bring a piece of cardstock that is 4 by 5 1/4. A piece of designer series paper that is 5 1/4 by 2 approximately, and we're gonna go ahead and just use our Stampin Seal, and I'm going to adhere that to our Whisper White piece that is 2 by 5 1/4. This is a really simple card. But it's really pretty. So it's a great sketch for you to use. It's wonderful to use up your designer series paper pieces. There we are. So now that we have this in place, I also asked you to bring a scrap piece of paper with your greeting stamp or the stamp that you want to use. And because we're using I'm using the Pretty Petals, the Peony designer series paper. This is a gray granite, and basic gray are the colors, smoky slate are the colors in this designer series paper. So I'm choosing to use basic gray, a darker gray, to stamp my words, which I chose Happy Birthday. It fits perfect in this postage stamp punch. So I'm going to ink that up in basic gray. And let's see. Yeah, this is fine. And then I'm just going to stamp it. My name is Keri, my name is Keri, my name is Keri. You know, I learned that from Barbara Wagner. She always, I may have given it a little too much on the side, but I think that's okay. She always stamps and holds her stamps down for the longest time, and she'll be chatting away, and then she'll lift it off, and she gets beautiful coverage. So I'm following what Barbara does when she stamps her images. Okay, the other color that I've chosen, because I want to stamp something over this. I think it's too plain just to have the Happy Birthday on there. I'm going to take this image, Special Delivery, which is like a canceled postage image, maybe. And I'm going to stamp it in a different color because I need a pop of color on this. So I chose Pool Party, and I do have some scrap paper here that I'm going to use because I'm going to stamp off a little bit because I don't want it to be too full on Pool Party. And I'll show you the difference. Even though it's on a porous plain computer piece of scrap paper, I want to show you the difference. If you can see that, this is direct from the ink pad to the paper, and then this is stamped again without re-inking it. So I like that subtle effect because it's busy with lettering. So I'm going to stamp off. And this doesn't have to be exact science, but I am going to put the special delivery so you can read it. And I'm going to offset it right over the top of the happy birthday, and I think that looks pretty good. Okay, next. Oh, I haven't been cleaning my stamps, you might ask. So here's my stamp cleaner. Definitely want to do that so you don't get ink all over the place, because these still stay inky. All right, there we go. And I can move my paper aside here. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Joyce. Thanks for joining me. All right, now I'm taking the rectangle postage stamp. See this? I have actually labeled my punches now so that I can tell you exactly which punch I'm using because they all have very unique names. So this is the rectangle postage stamp punch, and it coordinates with the Posted For You. This is a bundle. You can order just the stamp set on its own, you can order the punch on its own, or you can use a one-item code number and order the bundle, which is both of these together for a 10% discount. So I'm using the coordinating rectangle postage stamp punch, and I'm going to come in here. And please tell me that I stamped it far enough to the end, and I didn't. So that's okay. I'm not able to push it all the way down because I stamped it too far up on my cardstock. So I'm just going to trim off a portion with my handy dandy paper snips and fit this back in. And now we can see exactly how to line it up. I'm turning it sideways for me so I don't get my head in the camera here. And I'm pretty much gonna line it, there we go. That looks about right, doesn't it? Move it over just a smidgen. And so the beauty of these punches means that you can line these up before you punch it. And it can be, you know, pretty much almost perfect. So there we go, that's pretty good. And then I'm gonna punch this out. And look how cute that is. So next, I'm going to set this aside. I wanna add some ribbon to this. So I told you guys to bring some ribbon along with you. And I have chosen, I'm gonna reach in front of the camera. Placed it out of my reach here. I've chosen this Pool Party sheer ribbon, which is really, really pretty. And like I like to do, I'm going to cut a piece that's longer than my card piece here, because I'm going to put, using my Stampin' Seal, I'm going to put adhesive on the back side and along the edges as well. But I'm using this Stampin' Seal so that when I put my ribbon on the front, I can overlap these edges and tuck them underneath my card itself, and you don't see the ends. Because usually if you cut a piece that's exactly the same size as your card, this is going to fray. It's going to catch on things as you put it in and out of the envelope or when you pick it up. So that's what I do. I tuck my ends underneath on the back side. And if you feel like you need to, you can put a little more adhesive right on top of the ribbon. So there's that little buckle when you place it on your card. So now I've got my hamburger fold card base in Whisper White. It's Whisper White Thick, which I really like. And I'm going to place this on my card front. And then I'm going to take some dimensionals because I want to pop up this greeting. So I'm using the regular size dimensionals. You could use 4. I'm just going to use 2. You could use the minis, whatever you like. I'm leaving my ribbon out because we're going to tie a bow. Alright, and I'm going to place this on my card a little bit higher so that I can add some ribbon. And this is another reason why I like to tie this. That's pretty even. Okay, so just like this is really pretty, isn't it? But what I want to do is I want to add a bow. Now, my trick that you've heard me say 100 times is if you're tying a bow, if you're just tying a half knot, go ahead and tie your half knot. If you're tying a bow, I actually like to tie my bow upside down because I know when I tie my bow on my ribbon upside down, the tails of the ribbon are going to flow to the bottom. So it's going to lay properly. Okay, so I keep my ribbon on the spool so I don't waste a lot of ribbon. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to, I think I did that incorrectly. I'm going to pull it in this way. So I'm just lifting this ribbon up, or maybe not. All right. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Diane. Awesome. Okay, and I'm going to leave enough room that I'm sure that when I tie my bow, I'm going to have enough left over. I'm not going to tie this because this is sheer ribbon and it's a little bit wider. I don't want to tie this too tight. And the reason I don't want to tie this too tight is because I don't want it to scrunch up my ribbon so that it leaves a little gap between my designer series paper and my cardstock, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to tie it the half knot to get it going, just like that. And again, another reason that I'm tying this ribbon right on top of my ribbon is so that I can slide this bow anywhere I want. So you've got wiggle room. Okay. So now I'm gonna pull these in a little bit because I don't want it too loopy-loopy. Take over the presentation of my card. And when you hold your finger right on that knot, it's easier to make your bow. And then once you make it, if you want to put a little glue dot underneath once you have it placed where you want. Okay, so I think that looks pretty. I'm going to turn it around and see how the tails are flowing to the bottom because I turn, it's just, I don't know, I'm not an engineer, but I just know that when I tie the bow upside down, the tails lay how you want it to lay. So I'm going to trim off. And now I've got my, those are a little uneven, but that's okay. Now I've got my bow on top of the ribbon and I don't want to leave it there. And because I've tied it on top of this ribbon, I can move it wherever I want. So I'm just picking it up and moving it. And probably for your comfort, so the bow doesn't come undone, you may want to put a little glue dot underneath your bow and stick it down, and that way the little loops of the bows won't come undone. And that's our mystery card today. Isn't that cute? Now we could dress it up a little bit, but I think that's really pretty. It's very soft, super simple. It was pretty fast to put together, very elegant. We could take these new Artistry Blooms adhesive backed sequins. These are actually Coastal Cabana, let's see, Rich Razzleberry, and this is Calypso Coral, and another color in there I don't have off the top of my head, but these are really pretty. And so I'm going to take a couple of these, and I don't want to use the big one. I think it's too big for this card. So I'm just going to take a couple of the smaller. There's 3 different sizes here. So I'm just going to take a couple of the smaller ones. Or are there 2 different sizes? Well, I guess there's 2 different sizes. So maybe I could use a big one, but I think they're too big. So I want to keep this really soft. I just added a couple of these adhesive back sequins, the Artistry Blooms, and now look how pretty that card is. What do you think? Pretty simple, huh? Now if you wanted to dress it up just a little bit more, I did that before I came on. I also used the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder on my background Whisper White cardstock, and that's all I did, and it just added another element of beauty to this card. So you can step it up a notch. All right, well, I hope you like the cards today. I hope you'll show me once I post my cards. I hope you'll post your cards underneath so I can draw for some happy mail. Oh, I have a couple other cards that I want to show you that were made up using the same sketch. And here we go. This is one I got from Rhonda Wade. And this is her stamp set for being a $1 million seller. She got to design her own stamp set, and it's called Ridiculously Awesome, and it has some really fun sayings on it and really nice sayings. So this is one of hers. This is the Flowers for Every Season, I believe, DSP, and Magenta Madness ribbon. Now look how cute that is. Same sketch. She moved her ribbon over to the center. I really like that. That's pretty too. Okay, here's another one we made. This one is using the Ridiculously Awesome stamp set and the patterned paper, designer series paper, pattern prints designer series paper with my favorite elegant faceted gems and some Coastal Cabana, I believe this is Coastal Cabana ribbon that comes in the Old World embossing folder. Very pretty, isn't it? Okay, this one is a swap card made by, of course, Cindy Westring. My buddy Cindy. She does some fabulous work. This is using the Boho Indigo product medley. And this designer series paper is so pretty. So she used strips along here and the lacy ribbon to coordinate with it. Isn't that gorgeous? Same kind of sketch. Designer series paper, some ribbon, card base, and this is very vanilla. And she used some stitched rectangles. And then the last one is a really cute note card. And of course, gotta stamp the envelope. But this is using the Tasteful Touches, right? Tasteful Touches, my favorite product medley, product suite, and some really pretty rhinestones, the gingham ribbon, In Good Taste designer series paper. Super simple. So I'm sure that your cards are going to be gorgeous too. So please show me. If you need to order products, I would love to be your demonstrator. Go to my website at keriout.stampinup.net. If your order is under $150, please use this host code. Right now, with every $50 increment in merchandise that you place, Stampin' Up! Is giving you a $5 coupon to use next month. So now through August 3rd, you can place a $50 order or a $250 order, and every $50 in product earns you that $5 coupon that you can use starting August 4th through August 31st. So nice little incentive, in addition to my incentives where I give you a tutorial with 15 different projects with a $50 order. So, and I give you embellishments with a $100 order and the tutorial. And then with a $150 order, you'll not only get Stampin' Rewards and a handmade gift from me, you'll also receive the tutorial and an embellishment. All right, that's that. Thanks for joining me today. I appreciate it. Please be sure to post your cards in the comments. Reach out to me if you have any questions, because I'm certainly always happy to help you. Enjoy your day, stay well, and be blessed.